5 days. The Jacksepticeye and Ducky Dev game jam. My goal, a fast-paced roguelite called Tomb of the Passage. With its theme, death is an opportunity. The jam started like every game jam, with instant creative self-sabotage. The first rule that I made for myself is don't get stuck on art. Put it in my notes, everything. I have this tendency to focus too much on the art early on. So first thing I did for this game jam, I wasted a bunch of hours on finding the right asset pack and finding an art style that I'm gonna use for this jam. So that was actually most of day one spent on pixel pushing a door because the scaling was wrong and everything. I mean, it was fun, but I should listen to my notes. Once the aesthetics were acceptable, I built character movement, bullet scene, mummy AI, did a little bat follow 2D on the mummies, gorgeous, they all move exactly the same way. One of them was fucking moonwalking, but trial and error is the name of the game. After all that, day one, we ended with a little spinny boy. For some reason, the muzzle made the character spin as well, so not only your gun pointed at your mouse, but also the entire character. So you were just rotating and the character was just spinning around. So that was a thing. Day 3. Botched sound design. I don't have time to find a proper mummy death sound, so I threw in the only spare effect I had. So for the entire jam, whenever you killed a mummy, it sounded like a skeleton exploded. It made no sense, but it was sound. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't actually realize this was a thing until the last day when I went over the game and I was playing it. And then I kind of went like, that's not really the sound a mummy is supposed to make. The biggest problem with the game was the core architecture at this point. All the gameplay, traps to enemies, the challenge was in a single static room. The game was missing a roguelite component. You could walk around, you could shoot, you could die. There was nothing else, which is not really a game. We also got this beautiful Anubis from Slice of Moon on Instagram. She made an amazing artwork follower. Everyone's simping for Anubis. Great addition. Thank you for the 3 points. This is where the game started becoming full-on Egypt. We went like, fuck it, we ball. It's Egypt now. We added the Osirian crystals. We added the hub/shop. When you die, you go to Anubis, you buy your seal and the Edict of Final Passage. And the Edict of Final Passage, which just lets you end the game, walk through Anubis, be like, ayo, fuck off, I'm passing through. And then it was like, okay, aight, you cool, let's go. So the goal of the game was gather crystals by killing enemies or gathering the crystals, die so you could buy something, replay the game. Anubis basically just was a little bitch and just kept making you go through the same fucking loop-de-loop. That was my excuse for I didn't have time to make more levels, so let's just call Anubis a little bitch. I shouldn't piss off gods that much, but you know. It is what it is. So the goal was to have procedural generation. Fuck that word. This was what I had at like the last day, and I could not try and figure out procedural. I swear to God. Procedural generation in a day in Godot, because I've never done it before in any game engine. I wasn't figuring it out in Godot, so I just scrapped it. I was like, okay, fuck it, it's one room now, deal with it, it's a game jam, I don't really give a shit. I would rather have it be finished and kind of work so we can submit something. There were about 5 hours left for the jam. Okay, I read my time zone wrong because my laptop is in Belgian time zone and I'm in Romania, so the hour is 1 ahead, so I thought there were 5 hours left. There were actually 6 hours left, which made me rush, but it wasn't necessary, which made me have a fucking mental breakdown and cry for like an hour because I was like, shit, nothing fucking works, the traps don't work, I don't know how to do this, help. You know, you're a typical programming game development mental breakdown, I guess. If you go over my commits, like the first day went pretty well, everything was nice and cool. Second day didn't do fuck all. Third day, sure, cool. Fourth day, fifth day, mental breakdown. After an hour, I was like, okay, fuck it, we ball. We're just gonna add as much shit as possible. Like every single stupid idea that would slightly improve the game was like, add it. Voice lines came over screen, the main menu, and it worked out because all of the reviews were like, love the voice lines, it's very polished because of the voice lines. I was like, fuck it. So in total, about 1,167 people submitted. We got overall 526. We got 377 for visuals, which fucking slaps. Probably was only because of Daddy Anubis and not anything I did, but we take those. A win is a win. A lot of ratings, played a lot of really good games. It was overall really fun. I joined this just because I randomly saw it like a day before. I was like, I remember Jacksepticeye. Let me make a game. I'm working on this, continuing working on this. I'm actually adding the procedural first room generation and just adding some extra levels. So instead of replaying it, you get like 4 levels that you can go through and the game actually becomes a bit more playable. Thank you for watching. I enjoyed this. It was a fun thing.
The scales are not yet balanced. Passage is granted. Your debt has been paid. I find you unworthy. Welcome, Seeker. The sands of time await you.